Disney's Snow White is tanking, and it isn't even out. But how is that possible? And what does this mean for Disney's future live-action remakes?
Let me explain.
Right now, Disney is going through the most stressful week of 2025. They're due to release their highly anticipated live-action remake of Snow White. And since the announcement of the movie, people have already begun hating it. Yes, our story goes back to 2023, when Disney was on a great run making live-action remakes of all their classic movies. Some of them were hits, while others were a miss. But they decided to stick to OG stories and greenlit a live-action remake of Snow White. Rachel Zegler was hired to play the lead as Snow White. And when fans heard this, they were not happy. Why? Well, one reason is cause of the casting. Instead of casting a white actress in the lead, Disney decided to cast a Latina actress. While the Latin community were excited about the casting, fans of the OG animated movie weren't. But that's not the only reason. Rachel has been saying during multiple interviews that the movie will be nothing like the animated movie. It won't be a love story where Snow White is saved by the prince. In this remake, we'll see Snow White fighting for her kingdom, and it won't even have 7 dwarfs. Instead, it will have 7 bandits.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Fans got really mad when they heard all of this, and decided they weren't even going to watch the movie. Disney had to do some damage control and decided to push back the release of the film to 2025. Then, during 2024's D23, we got the first trailer, and it became one of the most hated Disney trailers of all time. That's not all. They even removed the bandits and used CGI dwarfs for the movie, leading many to wonder why they're even calling it a live-action movie. Since the trailer release, Disney decided to keep quiet and pray that the noise dies down. With a week away from release, Disney decided to scale down the premiere and keep it low-key. This got a lot of fans wondering if the movie is even worth going to. And now, we finally got our first reviews. The movie is an absolute disaster. While Rachel Zegler does the best she can with her amazing voice in a decent first half, the movie eventually turns into a bore. The worst part is that this movie didn't just have 7 dwarfs. It even had the 7 bandits we spoke about earlier, leading many fans to think, did they stitch 2 different movies together? Even though Zegler said they're gonna change the storyline, they still went with the Prince Charming route, but it didn't quite land with fans, since the hero isn't a prince but a Robin Hood type character.
As this movie was building in the first act, I was like, maybe it's not as bad as it looked. Out the gate, I thought Rachel Zegler was good as Snow White. Setting aside the tragedy of the fact that Disney learned far too late to not give her a microphone when she's doing press for this film, I actually make the argument that her version of what the film was, per her explanation, it's not actually the film. Not love interest guy, poison apple, true love's kiss, it's all in here. You remember that picture in which it was like, hey, here are the substitutes for the 7 dwarves that aren't gonna be 7 dwarves? But the internet, and I'm paraphrasing here, internet said, how about not? Much to my surprise, those folks are still in this film. She runs across these bandits, those are the bandits. She hangs out with them for a bit, and now I'm in a completely different film. You're hanging out with these bandits you don't know, you don't care about. Granted, they do mingle with the dwarves for a spell, but you can't help but see it. 2 possible options going down here, my friends. 1, initially there were going to be no dwarves in this Snow White film. The bandits were going to be the substitute for the dwarves. The internet, again, paraphrasing, said, how about not? Studio panicked, refilmed scenes with the dwarves, and now you have 2 different versions of this film just colliding head on. Or this film, as it stands, dwarves and bandits both being in here, was always how it was planned to be. You can't help but see that Snow White and the Seven Dwarves and Snow White and the Seven Bandits are two different feeling films that are almost in competition on screen.
Ultimately, the movie is a disaster and shouldn't have been greenlit in the first place. I don't know if Disney has any more future plans to turn our classics into live-action movies, but if they do, I hope they learn from this and find a way to honor them while giving us an entertaining movie. Let's wait and see.
That's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.